Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, when did I stop recognizing the woman staring back at me? It happened to me one quiet morning. I was brushing my hair, still half asleep, when I caught my reflection in the bathroom mirror. The woman I saw wasn't the vibrant, confident, stylish person I used to know. She looked tired, not just physically, but in the way her clothes seemed to sag, the way her eyes avoided her own gaze. Post-menopause has a way of sneaking up on you. One moment, you're navigating hot flashes and sleepless nights, and the next, you're facing subtle and not so subtle changes in your body, your skin, your hair, and even your sense of self. I thought I was handling it fine, but deep down, I was quietly dressing to disappear. I avoided colors, clung to safe outfits, and convinced myself that bold choices were a thing of my past. But here's the truth. That way of thinking was stealing my joy. I reached a breaking point when I turned down an invitation to a dear friend's birthday dinner, not because I was sick, but because I didn't feel good enough in anything I owned. That's when I realized this wasn't just about clothes or makeup. This was about reclaiming my presence. My post-menopause style glow-up didn't start in a boutique. It started with the decision to stop hiding. And here's the best part. You don't have to wait for the perfect time to do the same. In this video, I'm going to share the real, unfiltered story of how I rebuilt my style and myself after menopause. You'll learn the exact steps I took to refresh my wardrobe, choose hairstyles that flatter my changing features, and embrace accessories that speak to who I am now. You'll also see the self-care habits and subtle confidence tricks that make the biggest difference. The ones no one talks about, but every woman over 50 should know. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about unlocking a version of yourself that feels powerful, visible, and unapologetically present. If you've been feeling invisible, if you've been dressing just to blend in, or if you've lost that spark you used to feel when you walked into a room, then stay with me, because the journey I'm about to share isn't just mine. It could be yours too, and it all begins with one surprising first step. That first surprising step in my glow up wasn't about clothes or makeup. It was about standing in front of the mirror, really looking at myself, and deciding I would stop treating my post-menopause body like a problem to solve. Menopause changes you. Your skin may become drier, your hair texture shifts, your waistline might soften, and certain clothes fit differently. At first, I saw these as signs of loss. I would think, if only I could get back to how I looked 10 years ago. But that mindset was quietly stealing my joy. One day, I decided to flip the script. Instead of wishing for my younger body, I started asking, how can I make the most of the woman I am right now? That shift in perspective was liberating. I began with small, intentional changes, choosing fabrics that felt comfortable against my skin, wearing cuts that flattered my new shape, and letting go of the guilt around not looking the way I used to. The more I accepted these changes, the easier it became to dress with confidence. Self-acceptance doesn't mean giving up on self-improvement. It means understanding your starting point and honoring it. When you do, every style choice, from clothing to accessories, becomes a celebration, not a cover-up. High CPC keywords like confidence after menopause and self-acceptance tips for women over 50 aren't just search terms, they're life tools. Confidence isn't a one-time achievement, it's a daily practice. And self-acceptance is the foundation for every transformation that follows. When I embraced this mindset, I stopped chasing trends that weren't made for my lifestyle and body. I started curating a wardrobe that worked for me, not for some outdated version of myself. It was like finally exhaling after years of holding my breath. And with that acceptance came a new kind of freedom, the freedom to experiment, to play, to reinvent without fear. Because once you see yourself as worthy exactly as you are, you're ready to take the next step in your glow up. And for me, that step started at the top, with my hair. When I finally accepted my post-menopause body, I realized something important. If I wanted to truly feel renewed, I needed to see a new version of myself in the mirror every day. And nothing changes your reflection and your mood faster than your hair. For years, I'd been wearing the same haircut, the same safe style. It was practical, low maintenance. And if I'm being honest, it had started to feel invisible. My natural grays were coming in, but I kept coloring over them because I thought silver hair would make me look old. I was wrong. The turning point came when I visited a stylist who specialized in hairstyles for women over 50. She didn't just ask what I wanted, she asked how I wanted to feel. Did I want sophisticated, playful, modern? Together, we chose a layered cut that framed my face, added movement, and worked with my natural texture instead of against it. And here's the part no one tells you. A great haircut isn't about chasing youth. It's about highlighting the beauty you have right now. For some women, that might mean embracing silver strands with a chic, polished bob. For others, adding soft highlights for dimension. The goal isn't to erase the years, it's to wear them with confidence. I also invested in learning how to style my hair quickly but beautifully. A few minutes with a round brush, a little volumizing spray at the roots, and suddenly my face looked lifted, my energy brighter. It wasn't just about looking different, it was about feeling ready to show up for my life. High CPC keywords like gray hair styling tips and best hairstyles for mature women aren't just trendy searches. They're reminders that you can reinvent yourself at any age. And once my hair reflected the woman I felt inside, I started wondering, why stop there? If my hair could transform my energy, imagine what a new wardrobe could do. With my new haircut in place, I felt like a different woman. But there was one problem. Every time I opened my closet, it was like stepping back into the past. Stacks of just-in-case clothes I hadn't worn in years. Outfits I kept because they were comfortable. But if I'm honest, they didn't make me feel confident. For too long, I had been dressing to hide. Loose, shapeless tops, washed-out colors, fabrics that clung in the wrong places. Post-menopause body changes can make you think your only option is to cover up, but the truth is, hiding doesn't help you feel good. So, I made a bold decision. It was time for a wardrobe reset. I went through each piece and asked myself one question. If I wore this out today, would I feel proud and visible? If the answer was no, it had to go. Then I started rebuilding, slowly and intentionally. I focused on elegant outfits for women over 50 that were timeless but still fresh. I chose fabrics that draped gracefully, colors that lit up my skin tone, and silhouettes that celebrated my shape instead of masking it. A tailored blazer over a soft blouse, straight-leg trousers that elongate the legs, a wrap dress that creates a gentle waistline. Suddenly, my clothes weren't just covering me, they were lifting me. And here's something powerful. When your clothes fit well and feel good, you naturally carry yourself differently. Your shoulders go back. You smile more. You walk into a room with quiet confidence. I also learned the value of investing in fewer, better quality pieces instead of chasing every trend. When your wardrobe is filled with items you truly love, getting dressed becomes effortless. High CPC terms like wardrobe makeover and classic fashion for mature women aren't just about style. They're about reclaiming your identity. But I wasn't done yet. My clothes were elevated, my hair was fresh, and I realized there was one more element that could instantly take every look to the next level. The finishing touch, the right accessories. When I think about my style glow up, I realize accessories were the turning point that transformed nice outfits into complete looks. Before, I treated accessories as an afterthought, maybe a simple necklace or a bag I'd owned for years. But once my wardrobe started to reflect the woman I wanted to be, I noticed something. Without the right finishing touches, Even the most elegant outfit could look unfinished, so I started experimenting. A silk scarf in a bold print instantly brought life to a neutral blazer. A structured handbag made my casual jeans and shirt days feel intentional. A pair of gold hoop earrings framed my face and worked with both dressy and casual looks. The trick was choosing timeless fashion pieces that added personality without overwhelming me. Post-menopause style isn't about piling on trends. It's about selecting accessories that feel like extensions of your identity. For me, that meant leaning into pieces that told a story. A bracelet I bought on a trip with friends, a vintage brooch that once belonged to my mother, a pair of sunglasses that made me feel like I was walking down a Parisian street. And the best part, accessories are one of the most cost-effective ways to refresh your look. You can wear the same dress 5 times, but swap out the belt, jewelry, and bag, and it feels brand new each time. High CPC terms like accessories for mature women and classic accessories that never go out of style aren't just style advice. They're the secret to stretching your wardrobe while keeping it exciting. With my hair styled, my wardrobe upgraded, and my accessories adding that final polish, I started noticing something even more powerful than compliments from others, a quiet confidence in myself. But style isn't just about what you put on your body. It's about how you take care of it from the inside out. Which is why my next step wasn't in the closet at all. It was in my daily habits. The biggest lesson I learned during my style glow up: true transformation doesn't start in your closet, it starts in your daily life. Before menopause, I could get away with skipping sleep, grabbing quick processed meals, and ignoring skincare for days. After menopause, my body told me in no uncertain terms, take care of me or I'll show it. So I made small, realistic changes. I began each morning with a glass of water before coffee to hydrate my skin from the inside. I added more colorful vegetables and lean proteins to my meals, not as a diet, but as fuel for my energy and mood. Walking became my favorite form of movement. Gentle, joint friendly, but still enough to keep me strong. Skincare was another game changer. I stopped chasing every miracle cream and focused on a simple, consistent routine: a gentle cleanser, a nourishing moisturizer, and daily SPF. For an added boost, I invested in a quality serum with ingredients like vitamin C and peptides, proven to help with brightness and firmness. These anti-aging lifestyle habits didn't just improve my skin and body, they shifted how I carried myself. When I felt rested and energized, I naturally stood taller, smiled more, and engaged more confidently with others. And self-care isn't only physical, it's mental. I started journaling a few minutes each night, jotting down what I was grateful for. I learned to say no to things that drained me and yes to activities that made me feel alive, whether that was coffee with a friend or trying a new recipe. High CPC terms like self-care for women over 50 and anti-aging wellness tips aren't just buzzwords. They're tools that help you live with more vitality, no matter your age. The most surprising part, these changes didn't just make me look better, they made me feel better in every area of my life. And when you feel good on the inside, it changes how you move through the world. Which leads us to the next part of my journey: mastering posture, body language, and the subtle signals that make you instantly more magnetic. It's amazing how the smallest physical changes can transform how the world sees you and how you see yourself. After focusing on self-care, I noticed my energy improved, but there was still something missing: my posture. Years of hunching over a desk, looking down at my phone, and carrying bags on one shoulder had left me with rounded shoulders and a forward-leaning stance. Without realizing it, my body language was sending the message that I wanted to shrink into the background. So I made a conscious choice to change it. Each morning, I spent just 5 minutes practicing standing tall. Shoulders back, chin slightly lifted, core engaged. I imagined there was a string pulling me upward from the crown of my head. It felt awkward at first, but soon it became second nature. I also paid attention to my facial expressions. A warm, genuine smile softens fine lines and instantly makes you more approachable. Eye contact, even for a few seconds, creates connection. These are small habits, but they have a big impact on how others respond to you. And here's the secret: posture and body language aren't just for other people's benefit. They send signals to yourself, too. Standing tall makes you feel more confident even before you believe it. Psychologists call it power posing, but I call it my daily reminder that I deserve to take up space. High CPC terms like confidence tips for older women and positive aging may sound like magazine headlines, but in reality, they're about reclaiming presence. The way you carry yourself is the final layer that makes all your style and self-care efforts truly shine. Once I felt comfortable in my own skin, from my hair to my shoes to the way I stood, I realized it was time to add the most personal element of all, a signature style that was completely and unmistakably me. And that's where the final stage of my transformation began. By the time I reached this stage in my glow up, I had fresh hair, a curated wardrobe, the right accessories, strong self care habits, and a new sense of confidence. But I didn't just want to look well put together. I wanted a signature style, something that felt uniquely mine. Your signature style is like your personal calling card. It's the combination of colors, silhouettes, and details that people instantly associate with you. And after 55, it becomes even more powerful because it tells the world you know exactly who you are. For me, the process started by looking at the pieces I loved most. I noticed patterns, rich jewel tones, soft but structured jackets, gold accents, and tailored pants. I began building outfits around those preferences instead of chasing seasonal trends. I wanted every item in my closet to mix and match effortlessly so I could get dressed without overthinking. I also embraced the idea that my style should evolve with me. Just because something looked great in my 40s didn't mean it would represent me now. I let go of pieces that felt outdated or didn't align with the confident, modern woman I'd become. Adding small, signature touches became my favorite part, like a bold statement necklace, a silk scarf tied at my handbag, or a pair of sleek, low-heeled boots. These details made even the simplest outfit feel intentional. High CPC terms like personal style for women over 50 and classic fashion looks aren't just industry buzzwords. They're the blueprint for dressing in a way that feels authentic and timeless. And the best part? Once you discover your signature style, shopping becomes easier, dressing becomes faster, and you always feel like the best version of yourself, whether you're going to brunch, traveling, or simply enjoying a day at home. With every change I made, from my mindset to my accessories, I realized this glow up was never just about style. It was about stepping fully into the life I wanted to live. And now, looking back, I can see the complete transformation. When I think back to that morning, standing in front of the mirror, feeling disconnected from the woman staring back at me, it's hard to believe how far I've come. At the time, I thought my post-menopause years would be a season of fading into the background. Instead, they became the years I stepped into my most authentic, confident self. This glow-up wasn't about chasing youth or erasing the natural signs of age. It was about embracing the changes, learning how to work with them instead of against them. It was about finding hairstyles that highlighted my features, curating a wardrobe that celebrated my body as it is, and discovering accessories that added polish and personality. It was about self-care, the kind that nourishes your skin, body, and mind. And it was about walking into every room with posture, presence, and an energy that says, I belong here. High CPC terms like style transformation after menopause and fashion tips for older women might just sound like search queries, but in reality, they represent a movement, a shift away from the idea that aging means fading. We are not here to disappear. We are here to take up space, to inspire, and to enjoy the freedom that comes with knowing who we are. The biggest lesson: you don't have to do it all at once. My transformation happened step by step, choice by choice. First came acceptance, then the hair, then the clothes, then the accessories, then the habits, the posture, and finally, the signature style. Each layer built on the one before it, until one day I realized I wasn't trying to look confident anymore. I simply was. And now when I look in the mirror, I see her, the woman who lived, learned, and decided she was worth the effort. If you've been feeling invisible or uncertain about where to start, I hope my story shows you that it's never too late. Whether you begin with a new haircut, a single outfit that makes you feel amazing, or simply the decision to stand a little taller tomorrow, you're already on your way. This is your invitation to create your own post-menopause glow-up, your style, your rules, your life. If you found inspiration here, I'd love for you to stay with me on this journey. Subscribe for more real, practical, and uplifting fashion tips for women over 50. Let's keep proving, together, that the best years of style are not behind us. They're right here, and they're just getting started.